Hello, and welcome to another edition of All or Nada According to Jack. I told everybody that I was going to have a special guest this week, and here he is. Oh, my hand goes that way. Rick LaBonte. Uh, Most of you may know him from the Sea of Tranquility, and Rick and I have been on a couple shows together. How you doing, Rick?
How you doing, my friend?
Uh, Great to have you on.
Oh
I
yeah,
like your
cool. Right on.
background. It looks like that's from a certain project that you did recently, namely this one.
Okay, living it up.
Okay. So Rick just released a double CD called "Living It Up," and I've given it, I would say, 1.5 listens so far, and I'm loving it. So, well, first of all, say hello to all the viewers, and then we'll get into it.
Right on. Well, I'm glad we have a chance to, you know, shoot the breeze and talk about stuff you want to hear. I've been following your channel for about a few episodes now, and I see where you're at. And I like the way you interviewed Pete Pardo, Day in a Life. Thought that was pretty interesting conversation. So yeah, uh, let let's talk.
Okay, so basically, just to give people a little background, so end of 2021, I did a show with Pete Pardo on Pete's channel. We called it A Day in the Life of Pete Pardo. So what we're doing is we're continuing it on my show, All or Nada. I mean, doing this with Rick LaBonte for today. Pete and I haven't really decided on how we want to do this in the future, so we'll see where it goes. But in the meantime, today we're going to do it with Rick LaBonte, and we're also going to talk about this wonderful album that Rick LaBonte put together called Living It Up. So let's talk about that first. Uh, Rick, what could you tell me about the production of Living It Up?
Oh well, it was recorded in two studios, pretty much, um, with Highland Studio and then SLR, and then SLR would master the final product. So I would say 20, what was it? Yeah, at least 19 songs were done in Highland Studio. The rest was in SLR, and yeah, just timing, booking, and when COVID hit, I focused on one location, and we did a lot of the work either ourselves or we brought some guests or people had to email some of the track to us. But yeah, it was a good exciting. I mean, I really didn't know it was gonna be a double album. It was too, we had all the, how 2020 happened. All of our gigs, I'm in two different bands, the Formula and the Blues side. So all of our shows are being stopped for whatever reason, as we know. And so we just, complied. And in the meantime, I already started recording some songs, and I said, well, I might as well continue. And every time I pick up the guitar or the keyboard or whatever was happening, I was creative and start writing songs. And didn't really plan to do a double album. It's just that by the time I had almost 50 minutes already done, an album in the can, so to speak, um, because of people have all stopped playing. Guys like my friends in Uriah Heap and the bass player for Pat Travers band, David Pastores, they were all taking some time off. And the more we talked, they said, "Hey, would you?" They said, "Hey, I would play on your album. You got a tune? Give me a tune." And this couldn't be a better time because normally they're all touring, and it'd be wishful thinking to get these guys on a record, but they were actually downtime. So I said, yeah, let's do it. So obviously I had everything recorded. So now I have a chance to have Davey Wimmer and Russell Gilbert from Uriah Heap on my album. I had to write some songs. I didn't have it. I would already did it. So I went to home and I wrote Full Speed Ahead, and there was some tune riffing that I would come up with, Fragile, that I thought it would be a good fit to get Davey on. And I had an old song that I had kicking around in the back called Coda, and I got Russell on that tune. So it was kind of like by then I had almost an album and a half, might as well complete it. And so, and I was still mindful that if I was going to do a double album, I want it to be at least 50 minutes or under an hour on each record. And that's what I did. And also when it came to the concept of the album out, the cover with the day and the night on the other side, I decided, okay, 24 songs, that's it, 12 on each disc, like a 24-hour day, living it up, a 24-hour Rick LaBonte experience, and every song was going to be different, just like uh, you know people do, right, in their lives. So yeah, that's how basically it came about. So I didn't. It was great production because, in the sense where Highland Studio allowed me to be very creative, and there were songs that I brought there, and there were
Mhm.
songs that were created there, because it just was a playground to do a lot of creative stuff. Like even vocally, I had to sing a lot of my harmonies because we couldn't always have bands there, so I had to do a lot of the work, and it was great for me to. Exercise a lot of that part of my voice I never get to do, right? Because I'm always the front man, and so singing all those harmonies and stuff. I mean, there is harmony from my band, the one that they played on, but there's a great amount of work that I had to do it because of the restriction. You only have so many people in the building, and so
Right.
stuff like that. And we just worked around it. Before you know it, by December 2021, I had the album done. It's just a matter of waiting for this album artwork to be completed and a layout of the CD. And it took some time to make sure, the lyrics were on there and who played on what was inside the information. So that took a little bit. But then I'm thinking, here's my second album. Like I did my first album on a mission in 2016. I put a blues side album with the blues side band. It's just all original blues in 2021. And so I thought I'll call it the double album, and it's the second album at that as far as the rock original stuff. So I picked the second month, second day of 2022 to release it. That's when I decided let that to go. So
Oh,
I had at one point stop. I mean, I actually had 25, 26, 7, maybe 27 songs still kicking around in the studio that I had to say, no, it ends at 24. That's it.
right. So, when did you actually start the project for this album? Do you
But
have like a
yeah,
what?
so I was in SLR, and the reason why I didn't continue to do a lot of work, the guy's so busy. He had to record with Tea Party and quite a few acts there, and to get him was already a challenge. But so I was lucky to have him as to match. His name is Martin Bach. But I did three songs there using Jeff Burrows from the Tea Party on there,
Okay.
on drums on that track, and I invited some friends that I played in my past, whether it's in the '90s or people I was playing with currently. So it's a mismatch of friends that are pretty very talented, and they know how to interpret my idea. And so I
Okay.
recorded "Let It Show," "The Gallery of Love," for those two sessions. And then we brought my band Living It Up, came from using the Formula guys. Those are the guys I play with,
But
usually performing
my
all my
question is,
originals or covers.
how many years did it take you to finish this album? Would you
Oh,
say
I would say, like I said, 2019, and we released it by
2019?
February. So,
Yeah.
and in the middle of that, I put out a blues album, 2021. So I was
Okay.
busy. You can say I put out three records, basically you know, uh, in that period of time.
Okay. So, so now you mentioned the blues album. What other projects have you had? What other albums have you recorded besides Living It Up? If you could just list those.
Well, like I said, my 2016 On the Mission, that was the first one. And that was almost 74 minutes on that album. Could be a double album for the standards of the 70s. And then 2021, the blues side. And that was basically six songs of originals from me and a four from another buddy who sings on the album too. But this one will feature a little more of my harmonica playing and doing all the different shades of blues type of music that I do. And um, and then this year we just released the double album. It has a host of members from both bands and a lot of friends locally and internationally on the record. I basically picked some people that I felt was suited for the song because every song, as you notice, are different,
Right.
right? So it was deliberately. It's like imagine you being like a director and you got a script, but you got to find the right actor to do the job, right?
Mm,
And that's
right.
exactly what I do. So when I thought about like when I got a chance to write for Uriah Heap, naturally I'm going to give a Uriah Heap vibe to a song that I've been influenced by. It's part of my DNA. So naturally I'm going to go ahead and present a song that I think they'll kick ass on it. And so I did that. I invited people who I thought would help enhance the song. And
Right.
then, of course, if they go off script a little bit, I can reel them in. Okay, I like that, but I maybe need a little more tears here. Or I need a little more, slow it down. You're going too
Right.
fast, or whatever. They would deliver that. And here's the thing some of these guys can play circles around me, Jack, and yet they respected my writer point of view that when as I explain where I've taken this song, they would give me that. And so what you hear is don't like and for 24 songs, I can honestly say 80, maybe 85% of what I heard in my head, how the song was gonna come about, did come out like that. There was another 20% because my friends have had some pieces of music and I got a chance to write on that. And you can't predict that. And there was a couple of songs that were actually created in the studio, like Cabin Fever. Cabin
Right.
Fever was created because we were actually locked up and with just two guys basically playing guitar tag. I came up with this galloping riff and
Right.
I'd say, okay, this is where I go. What do you do? And he just passed it back and forth. And before you know it, we recorded it. So you don't really predict how that's going to sound at the end. So it's fun to be surprised to hear the finished product.
No, I know how it is to have those little riffs going on in your head, and you want to get them recorded so you don't forget them. Yeah,
Right on. Actually, it's funny you say that because I was looking at my phone bank. I can start deleting all these ideas because they're on the double album now. Because it's like,
okay.
I would have said probably about 102 of those just sitting there.
Do you know how many
And
riffs I
some,
came up with and I forgot? I mean, it's awful.
yeah, well, Paul McCartney once said that this is the danger tool because you can get lazy and let it pile up.
Right.
Long as you get a number where you say, okay, after 100, you can start putting those things to work. But see, that was never an issue for me. I was like, the more I pick up an instrument or guitar, my problem is I'm gonna start being creative, and then now I gotta record this. Is actually the well isn't really dry even right now. I decided not to focus on writing, let this album breathe a little bit.
Oh,
But I
great.
know by the summer I'll be in the studio again.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you
Very
can't.
cool. But
Yeah.
going back to what you said about trying to have the right musicians for the right songs and so on and so forth. So this show is actually now 2 months old. Started
Hmm.
on December 14th. It's now yesterday, Valentine's Day, February 14th. So and even I'm seeing that you're trying to get the right people for the right show and with the right expertise for the topic that I want to cover. So,
Right on.
but yeah, so moving right along. So tell us how you know Uriah Heep.
Well, actually, I've seen him several times, but in the beginning, um, that conversation that happened was actually 2018, February 11th. I'll never forget that day. They're playing in London, Ontario, and a 2 hour drive, and weather could be, you know, nasty, but I was taking that chance. And there was an opportunity where you can meet them. You paid a little extra. You can meet them backstage, and there was also an opportunity to hang out with them a little bit. And
Nice.
those guys are that approachable, really awesome people. Anyway, it was really cold, and they let us in instead of just the usual time. They let us sit in the building, and so I just had a great, conversation with them. They knew I was a super Heap fan because they even mentioned that on their website. Mick Box have typed that out. But it was cool. I got to sing "Easy Living" with them on soundtrack,
Wow, very
and
nice.
there's a YouTube video up on there, and it was fun. And even though they all had inner ears or whatever, I just hearing the front show. But I've been, I heard the song so many times. I'm kind of going autopilot anyway, so I'm just comfortably just singing, doing my part, and it was fun because the whole ground was shaking. The stage was heavy with power because it's going out to this empty hall, and but it was just an amazing feeling that I'm singing with Uriah Heap. It's like a little bit
Oh,
jumping out
that's
of my
great. Yeah.
chest. And so, but anyway, we became fast friends right away. Cause doing the song with them, I gave them a fist bump, shake their hands, whatever, and they signed all my CDs that I bought, and they we just gelled. We had a good time, and later on, um, they allowed me to go wait in the front row because it's general admission, and I ultimately got the picks and the set list and everything out, and I'm singing. I know every song from the Uriah Heep set list, and Mick, right at the end of the show, they come out for an encore and he waved me on. I'm like, and my friend, like, he's calling you to get back up on there. So I go back up there and I get to sing when you see the whole house is full of people. And I'm just singing along with them, easy living. Uh, it wasn't like in the sound check I was going solo, but here we're all part of it.
Right.
But it was an amazing feeling to sing, with the one of my favorite bands of all time, and
Uriah's.
then hanging out afterwards, and then eventually Davey and Russell, we went out to a bar afterwards because it was a Sunday night, so not too many things could open. So we went to some place nearby the hotel, and it was really cool. Before you know it, they're Facebook friends, and here now we talk, and then I went and saw him in Ohio, and I even flew once to go to UK and saw him at Sheffield, UK in England, and I saw him play there, and so we've been friends, and we even brought gifts when David, had a new baby born, and we just wanted to acknowledge that, and it just became really decent friends. Yeah, they're in a great band, but they're humble people, like, and yet so professional, and they're great to the fans. And so, yeah, it was easy to feel included. So you can imagine how lucky it was to have those guys on my album. I
Yeah.
had never saw that
Awesome.
coming. 4 years ago, I shared a stage with them. That was Cloud Nine. What's that? Cloud 10 to have them on my album?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's really cool. I
Yeah,
hope you get a lot of sales out of that. But we'll
yeah.
talk
Well,
about that at the end. I'm gonna have you. We're gonna talk about where people can purchase a copy of this if they'd like to.
yeah.
But all right, so we're gonna go to the day in the life section. So thank you for everything you've given me so far. So what happens in the typical day in the life of Rick LaBonte? Like Tuesday every week for Rick LaBonte. What's it like?
Well, that could be depending on what's on my schedule. During the day, I work a lot for the as an community environment rep for my union and a few things that I do in our community, and so that's basically most of my during the day. And of course, I entertain at night with two bands, and I could be at the casino to the local bars or theaters or rock music halls, whatever the gig requires, and um, and of course I've been privileged to be on the SOT community, as you know, Pete Pardo and the gang, becoming pretty good friends. It's like they say when you're working in a workplace, you see each other more than your own family. It's starting to
Right.
become like that with these guys because I'm always spending at least a week of some sort with these guys online that we get to pick each other's brain about music and talk about things that get us going, and hopefully doing some good justice, plug it in for all that great music out there that some of the people in the world don't even know exists. So I'm glad to be a part of that. Um, but I do, depending on the season, I do exercise a little bit. I got a rowing machine. I do go for my walk, get at least 6,000 steps a day if I can. I got to stay a little bit fit to be the front man that I am, running around a lot and doing things that I do. So there's responsibility there. Um, I like going to a lot of concerts. I like enjoying movies and theaters, and I go see plays. I know, depending what's going on. Life is indoor with me. I juggle a lot of things, and I'm just one of those people that just do a lot and with very little sleep. But I manage to juggle a lot. I got two different bands. I got my own original stuff going on. I do a lot of environmental good work. I do some stuff that's changing law to make more green space in our community. It's just a lot of different things are going on. So I can't nail down a day because all these things require planning. And some days you channel hours here, you channel. So, but yeah, I'm a busy guy though, and I like that. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Okay, so I'm about to ad lib the next question.
Sure.
TV shows and movies. What type of TV shows and movies do you like to watch?
Oh, I, well, I'm a fan of a lot of things, right? So, I mean, I just try to, I like um, a lot of the different cop shows or whatever. There's plenty of movies I enjoy in Netflix, from everything from The Viking to whatever. I mean, I'm one of those guys, once they're done the season, move on to something else. And yeah, so I like a lot of different things. I like Marvel movies, I like Star Wars movies, I like fantasy movies, I like, the Lord of the Rings. I like,
Oh, cool.
when I was a kid, I was a big fan of Godzilla and
Right.
King Kong. So when they do a movie that's way beyond the technology we were growing up with, I always impressed. Kind of like reliving my childhood, seeing a Spider-Man movie or Batman movie. So I like all those things just for the entertainment value. But I do like a lot of historian films, movies that talk about a real era and time, and the more realistic they
I
are,
got a
the more
movie for
impressed I
you.
am. Okay,
I
what's that?
I was going through Netflix about a week ago. I saw this movie about Winston Churchill and I loved it.
Oh, I seen that one. That's
Oh,
good.
you have? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm into that. I'm a history
Yeah.
buff. One of the things I always get into is not just seeing a remake of movies to see how they improved it or
Right.
not,
Yeah.
but I do love historian films.
No, okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
I got some other ideas for you, but maybe off camera later. But
Okay.
so we're gonna switch the questions around a little bit. So what are your favorite foods?
Oh, I love food too much to nail it down. That's just like pick your favorite Zeppelin album. How do I do that? Honestly, um, I'm one that like to moderate a lot, but I've been eating healthier, more of a keto diet to try to avoid. My birthday, I might have broke the rules. On the weekend, I break the rules, but from Monday to Friday, I'm pretty disciplined to try to eat decent. But I love Mediterranean food, whether it's Greek, Lebanese food, or I love Italian food. I love Chinese food. I mean, I love it all. I'm not a fussy eater, except, I don't eat anything that's moving on me or raw.
No
And,
sushi.
stuff. Yeah.
No sushi?
Uh, well, I mean, I don't make a common practice. I have,
Right.
I try almost everything once, at least, But I mean, when it comes to you know, um, I cut out the bread that I used to love. I love bread,
Right.
and I love cheese, and I love all that stuff. But I'm just doing better because I know your metabolism slow down as you get older, and you got to be a little more cautious of it. But other than that, I love food.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and I can cook too. I'm a good cook
Oh,
myself.
that's
So
cool. Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah, I know
I
what I'm
enjoy
doing.
cooking as well, but
Food is
not
an
as
art,
much
man.
lately. I'm
Yeah.
getting tired of it. So we we had something very simple tonight. Chicken patties and I on a sandwich on a roll. That was it, and fries. So got it. You know what? After you work a long day, sometimes it's hard to cook a full meal. So I
What I manage to do is always cook enough for the last a couple of days. I don't have a problem with leftovers, right?
yeah, I'm not really a leftover guy. So,
Well,
but
I can.
it depends what it is. But
Yep.
okay. So have you? Well, maybe I hope this isn't a dumb question. How many times have you been to the States, being from Ontario, Canada, and where have you visited?
Oh man, dude, I been over. I live on Windsor, right? So right across to Detroit, whether I take the bridge or the tunnel. I've seen so many awesome concerts on U.S. soil. Many times in Detroit, whether it's the Palace, Auburn Hills, or what they call it, Pine Knob, Michigan, and it's the DTE Music Center or Meadowbrook Theater or the Fox Theater or Oh man, I've seen a many, too many. Like I got a book around here full
Nice.
of
Well, while you're
tickets.
looking for that book, I don't want to
Look at, look at, look at,
be
look at.
mean
He's
to
all from
Detroit, but
Detroit mostly.
I don't know if anybody has seen this or can see this. Basically, what it says is, uh, our old QB won a Super Bowl. Of
Yeah,
course, yeah, yeah. If I could pull it back, yeah,
I
uh,
see it.
yeah.
But anyway, I've seen too many to even give you a number. But let me tell you some of the places. I've been to Hawaii. I've been to Memphis. I've
Nice.
been to Elvis's house. I've been to the Beale Street and got to play harmonica with the blues band right in Memphis. That was awesome.
Wow.
Um, I've been to Florida. I've been to California, LA. Got to walk down some of the strips that are or go near the Whiskey
Whiskey a
Ago
Go
and
Go.
yeah, Go Go and what's the other one? There's so many. I've seen so many different places, but yeah, I had my share of getting around the U.S. However, my next plan is would be in New York. And
Nice.
do yes.
What part of New York? New York
Well,
City?
I want to see Pete and the gang. So whenever that works out, I'm gonna figure that out. But I'm gonna do that. That's on
Okay.
my bucket list.
Well, I hope it's I know about it because I'm only about an hour and a half, 2 hour drive. So
Well, yeah, we've definitely planned something.
okay, very cool. Especially if you come down to the city.
Yep.
Actually, my brother just flew up for the weekend in Manhattan, and I went in to see him. So it was nice. Okay, so next question. Let's see. Let's back up a little bit. Do you have any pets?
Yeah, we have a cat.
Oh, okay.
It was a cat that was um, in the cold winter, was just in the alley somewhere, living off of some garbage chicken bone, whatever. And we heard about it, and we said, well, we'll make sure, got a warm house. And before you know
Oh,
it, it's
nice.
our cat.
Oh, and my brother took a cat in also, and yeah, gave it a
Yeah,
great
we did a
life.
winter time because they go, the pretty much a wild animal, right? They breed
Right.
outside and anything can happen. So, and it's just way too cold for a small kitten like that. So we had to give it some TLC and it's healthy and became a pal.
Oh, very nice. My dog is a rescue, but she was lucky. We rescued her as a puppy, and she's been with us for 10 years. So, and if we didn't take her, I'm sure somebody else would have. So lucky little doggy. Uh, Pet peeves. You have any of those?
Um, I don't know. I don't know. Depends on the situation. I mean, only one I could think of if I'm in the movie theater, I don't want people talking when we're here to watch a show.
Right.
That might be an issue, but that does get under my skin. But I don't know. It's hard to think.
Uh,
I guess I just like people to be considerate. That's all. And
yeah.
then sometimes you just see people in that, and you just shake your head, but that's it. You don't have to make it a federal case because some people just it's not in them, right? Some
Yeah.
people that's where they are, and you just
Right.
accept that
Okay.
sometimes.
That's cool. I think we pretty much covered mostly. Is there anything that you want to share that nobody knows about you, or you think you can share?
Um, I don't know.
So,
Um,
like for example, I don't think anybody knows that I used to be a bird watcher, avid bird watcher. I'm like
mhm.
a, I'm like an expert. People can send me a picture and I'll tell them exactly what it is without looking at one of my bird books. So, something of that nature. Do you have any hidden talents like that?
Well, I think when it comes to talent, I've done to get me started. I was into plays. I used to do the Grease play, and those were the things that helped me get expand my comfort zone because I was an introvert as a kid, and to get me to perform in front of people, it takes a lot of nerves,
Oh yeah.
and so you go through a growing period where um, there's a lot of things that happen in my life that encouraged me. So I always had great parents that were role models in a way of encourage me that you got your mindset, you can do whatever you want to do, and so I don't know. I think some people might not know that. I mean, I was in two bands, and I'm also doing the environmental thing, and I don't think a lot of our viewers might not know some of the things I do politically to help make things better in my city. I do that. I've been acknowledged enough time by the labor community to get an environmental award, or I've been inducted in the Windsor's Musician Hall of Fame in
Nice.
2017 for my contribution to the community and what I've done. So, um, I've been appreciated, in my little city. I'm doing a lot, and you're surprised. Sometimes I don't even know how. When I say, walk in my city, and someone says hi, Rick, I got to connect to how they know me because
Mm,
I'm a man of different things in this community. I'm in two different bands. I've been also a teacher for teaching mixed master labor study stuff. So, I have so many people that know me for different reasons.
mm.
And, and it's always been, I had to be front and center, whether it's always got to be on, always got to be leading, always got to be, or the front man or something like that. So it's kind of an interesting um, growth period from your 20 to your present. Like, you take your talent, what you know about yourself, and be real and put your heart on your sleeve, and at least people know what you're about. And so you go about that, and I don't feel like I could ever look back like um, with regret, knowing I try to make a difference, you know. And people will label you as an activist or environmentalist, but really, I'm just a dad. I have two kids, and I just felt like my responsibility till they get to a voting age to make a better world or make the neighborhood better or whatever. And so I got involved, and people respect that, and I grew fast in the ranks of the union or doing what I do to the point where I was rewarded with a job that allowed me to do it full time and making a difference and working with the politicians of all levels to get certain things done that we all agree upon. So, and it takes a little bit of skill, and that's something you develop in the last 20, 30 years, um, all from experiences. That's all I got to say. I never, you don't have it all here. You learn as you go. Same thing with music. I didn't start playing all these instruments till I got later as I get older, and just a curiosity. Never, I had guitar under my belt, had my harmonica. I just wanted to figure out the piano. Before you know it, I'm on organ, I'm on mellotron, and
Nice.
then who would have thought I would play bass on the record? But I did because I
Right.
would tell my guy part, and the guy said, "Hey, why don't you just do it? You're doing it." And I
Yeah.
said, "All right." I'm so used to telling people parts that I want them to do it. I let
Right.
them go and do the job. But when with COVID, it made it an opportunity, to do it myself
Right.
and get a lot of things done. So there's a lot of great value in some of the things that I learned along the way, and I'm glad to share it with anybody. So
Okay.
yeah,
That's good. So we're actually doing pretty good on time. So I have time for a couple more questions. So
sure.
we're just gonna go into the standard music questions. So like, would you say um, amount of time you spend listening to new music versus your known favorites that you grew up with? What would you say that is?
I would say that is a balance between both.
Oh,
Because maybe not 10 years ago, maybe even 15 years ago, it was about searching for the stuff that I didn't have yet. But when you get a massive collection like I do, um, and also being part of the SOT community for 5 years, I've been following. There was a lot of new music that Pete was sharing that I had to uh, get my arms around. Even yourself recommended me. We did a homework assignment together,
yep.
so there was a lot, and that would maybe not freshly the year of the music, but it was still new music to me, and still 21st century music at that. So I got a chance to absorb a lot. But no, I keep up with the times. I've always did that, but I've also went backward. My whole listening of my career was always listening to the past. And then when being in the two bands that I'm in, we throw some original, but we do cover, and we sometimes give a history lesson by playing. Like if I'm in the Formula, you would get some Zeppelin. You're gonna get some of the bands that I enjoy doing, but we did it in a way that if we were assigned to make sure it's more of a dancing environment, you're gonna rock but with a dance beat, right? And you're gonna
Right.
make sure those songs, and there's plenty of them that have it. But there's a lot of times where it's just a show, and so we give a little bit of greatest hits of everybody we love. And sometimes looking at the audience, I change the set list because I know there's young people there that might want to hear something more recent. I'll throw that in there. That was the formula way. We formula is to change it to the crowd that we're playing for because we know that many songs. We had over 200 songs under our belt, so we
That's
could pull that off. You want Van Halen, we'll give you Van Halen. You want, this and this and that, we can do that. With the blues side, we try to go around the world with blues music. So
right.
like you're gonna get the New Orleans sound, you're gonna get the Chicago blues, you're gonna get the British take of the blues. You're gonna get Detroit Motown stuff because of R&B. So when you get out, you can't judge one song. You have to take a whole set of our music and say, okay, this is what these guys are about. Because we cover all the different. We're not one dimensional, basically, and we try to do all different spectrum of blues to keep the listener interested. And same thing with the rock band for the formula. We try to jazz up the set to keep them interested. It's not about me throwing all my music at them. I do that, but I also give them what made me who I am today. I got to play some of the blasts of the past, and yeah.
Okay, that's great. So we're about to wrap it up, but what I'd like to do is again just what we're going to do is after we wrap this up and I put this up online, uh, there's going to be information in case you're interested in buying it. And you know what? Check it out. It's really good. It blew me away. I love the hard rock in this CD. So double
Right.
CD. So
Yeah, you can get that on ricklabonte.com.
right.
And so check that out. And it's also on the digital world. Every one of those services is available now.
So can it be bought on Amazon?
Yep, Amazon Music got it streaming there. iTunes, Apple Tunes, you name it.
I
It's like
do I
so
do
many.
know from our circle of friends on Facebook, I'm starting to see people post it. Like on Let's Get Physical, Jamie's
Oh yeah,
page. Yeah, it's really cool.
yeah.
I
It's pretty
posted it to her
rewarding.
too.
Like
Let's
just
go.
the other day, I mailed one to Australia and the other Japan and Germany and a
Oh,
lot to your country,
right.
and
I
and so that was kind of nice. And then some people come and pick up the CDs right at my shows, whether I'm performing with the Formula or the blues side. They're going,
cool.
and so
Right.
that's nice. I'm happy. And so far, 7 songs out of 24 have been radio played somewhere,
Beautiful.
and so that's cool. That's a
All
good
right.
start.
All right. So I want to say thank you so much, Rick, for coming on my show. It's still young and growing, and I want to do all the cool stuff, that some of the other shows do. So thank you for coming over and making it a lot of fun. I you know
Thank you. Thank you for the
this is the
invitation.
first time I've had this is a first for me. Having an artist come on my show that recorded an album and we talked about it. So thank you
Well,
so
I
much.
like that you and look, we became fast friends ourselves from having a chance to swap the music together. And so, yeah, when you asked for, hey, would you like to be a part of this show? I wanted to see it. Yeah, so it wasn't a nada for me. It was definitely a yay.
All
So,
right. And Rick will be back, so I'm going to be going on vacation next week again. Don't get too jealous. I'm feeling a little burnout, so it has to be done. But when I get back, Rick and I are going to cover a favorite topic of both of us, Rush
okay.
top songs. So we're going to coordinate that and we're going to put that together and we're going to bring it to you guys. So stay tuned. That and a lot more. So for Rick LaBonte, this is Jack Toledano for All or Nada. Uh, all or nada, according to Jack, saying so long, and speak to you all in a couple of days. Have a good one.
Take care.